you were like, monitoring all the medical around this, right? Like, what was that? What was that like, and how can you give us a sense of how much medical knowledge goes into putting someone that far beneath the ocean?
Well, you have to keep in mind it was psychology, not so much medicine, but the stress of day after day of failures and recover from failures and numerous nights without sleep. I mean, there were times when this team who built and operated this were living on adrenaline and exhaustion. Of course, there were times when I just had to step in and I would just back off here.
You mentioned James Cameron, and you speak of him highly. I really interesting story that James Cameron actually first, by your secondary school, I think he was about 15 years old, starts corresponding with you, and then asks you for help and somehow this leads to this.
Well,
how does that lead to this?
Again, it was 54 years between the first time I encountered Jim, and then we came together when I co-led IMAX Titanic expedition in 90, and we produced the first IMAX film on Titanic, invited Jim, introduced him to the Russians who helped us. He then went off and made his Titanic blockbuster. And then he had these deep sea expeditions, and he invited me to come as the medical advisor and journalist on his last 3 deep sea expeditions.
How does that leave you feeling, knowing that you had such an impact on someone and that sort of domino effect led to something massive like that?
Let's start with the word gratitude. I'm so grateful because I may have contributed a little bit to Jim's early years, but his contribution to my understanding of leadership, which is what I studied leadership in high-risk environments, his contribution has been enormous.
And I saw you just moments ago speaking with a young man who was here interested. I wonder if sort of throwing it forward, what do you hope that young person coming by here looking at this is inspired by and that they can, where do you hope they take that from that inspiration?
Well, I think Deep Sea Challenger is a kind of dream maker. It's a kind of system that's beautiful in its complexity and its achievements. It's on the deep heart of the ocean. That someone will come in, a young person will come in, look at it, and be inspired, like Jim was in his early days. And that's what he's hoping to, I'm sure. So that someone will be inspired to focus on science, engineering, art, and discovery, and then go on to do hard things and do in tough places. And be an explorer.
And there certainly is a lot more of the ocean left to explore, isn't there?
There's a lot more of the ocean that we need to know.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you, Dr. Taylor. Thank you so much.
It's been fun.
And you can see the Deep Sea Challenger at 50 Sussex. That's from now until September. Admission is free. When we come back, it was a heinous crime that shocked Canadians. And now a decision to move Paul Bernardo to a medium security prison is sparking outrage. Why Correctional Services is reviewing its decision.
Ready for a total physical and emotional transformation. Being there means being here. The city is now very still to share from social work. International awards and CC Music Street.
Uncommonly capable for your longer lasting adventures.
Have you all heard about my $5 sandwich of the day? Apparently, this deal is ruffling some feathers. Heck, I'd be mad too. You won't be.
control. Speed up or slow down payments with a flexible TD mortgage. TD, ready to help you move forward. There. In only 5 minutes, visit sonic.ca today. The Princess Margaret Cottage Lottery is giving you a chance to live your best life in cottage country. Awarding 3 incredible grand prize cottages, all lakefront and fully furnished. These Linwood cottages have it all, including $100,000 cash. There's over 10,000 prizes to put a sizzle in your summer. And every ticket helps fund life-saving cancer research at the Princess Margaret. Buy now at princessmargaretlotto.com.
Save on style as we get rearmed. Save up to 50% on furniture. Save up to 50% on mattresses. Plus, buy more, save more on appliance and TV packages. Hurry, these priceless deals are here for a limited time. Visit leons.ca for details.
Join me for my brand new show, Commotion, weekdays at 11 on CBC Radio 1.
Welcome back. Correctional Services Canada says it is reviewing its decision, a recent decision, to move Paul Bernardo to a medium security prison. He's been serving a life sentence at a maximum security facility for almost 30 years. He's found guilty of kidnapping, torturing, and murdering 2 teenage girls. The lawyer of the victims' families says they were given no warning or explanations for that transfer. Catherine Cohen has the details.
I was profoundly concerned and again shocked by this decision.
The public safety minister condemns the decision to move Paul Bernardo, but he can't change it.
It is important to underline that under the law, this is an independent decision.
On Friday, news broke that the notorious serial rapist and killer have already been transferred from this Ontario maximum security prison to a medium security one in Quebec, prompting outrage.
I fully and totally understand how shocked and appalled so many Canadians are.
Mr. Bernardo is a monster. He belongs in maximum security.
And from Ontario Premier Doug Ford, Paul Bernardo should rot in a maximum security prison for the rest of his miserable existence. Full stop. The Correctional Service of Canada said in a statement the decision will now be reviewed to ensure it was appropriate, evidence-based, and more importantly, adequately considered victims.
Just brings sadness and despair and disbelief to them.
The lawyer for the families of victims, Leslie Mahaffey and Kristen French, say the Correctional Service won't even explain why Bernardo was moved or whether he's now in the general prison population instead of solitary confinement.
They should not be hiding behind the privacy rights of the offender, of this particular kind of offender, the worst of the worst, the most evil of evil.
I think going forward, it will be up to the Correctional Services of Canada to explain to Canadians exactly how these decisions are taken.
Mendocino says years ago Canadians were assured Bernardo would live out his days in a maximum security prison. It's not clear whether this review will send him back to one. The minister says he expects an update. Patrick Cullen, CBC News, Ottawa.
The Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today said this is going to be a particularly bad fire season for Canada, but he promised to help communities and people in need.
With the given projections, it is expected that we have enough resources to cover the summer. If things get worse, we have built-in contingency plans, and we will, of course, make sure that we are there, whether it's leaning more on international supports, whether it's standing up other resources. We will be there to ensure that all Canadians are protected right through this summer.
There are already almost 1,000 people from other countries helping to fight the fires here. This group arrived in Alberta from South Africa. The Canadian military is providing assistance in Quebec. The battle against the flames is also raging in Ontario. This is a fire in the Ottawa area, and the largest fire in Nova Scotia's history continues to burn as well, though the rain is helping out. Natural Resources Canada says there are 413 active fires burning across the country. 49 of them are out of control. More than 160 fires are burning in Quebec right now, most of them out of control. 14,000 people have been ordered to leave their homes. The Army now helping out. More assistance coming from the province. Polino Duro reports from Montreal.
The fire situation in Quebec continues to evolve. There was a new evacuation order in the Mississippi region for St. Lambert. Now everyone is being forced out of their homes, and they are in a state of emergency. Now in La Belle-sur-Cuvillion, this is an area that earlier in the weekend that they had people evacuate, so the city is completely empty except for the mayor, the police, and the firefighters who are fighting the fight. Moving on to the North Shore, this is an area where all the Army is there helping out, trying to fight the fire, and the mayor of Sept-Îles said that they are extending the state of emergency for a little bit longer. He doesn't want people to return home because he's worried that if they do return home, they will be forced out again. Now, I spoke to one man who lives in the Manitoba region, and he says that it's very devastating that his whole community has to be displaced.
The thing we are really sad because, the more things go, it's very important for the community to audience take this river to go back in the
Now, I talked to the Quebec Fire Prevention Agency, and they say that the weather being hot is not making it easier. And also the intensity of the fires is making it hard to get firefighters into the moat to fight these fires.
Right now, because of the number of fires that we have to prioritize where we're allocating, and we're down to the first priority. We're intervening on fires that are affecting students.
In terms of the people coming to help the fire Quebec, there are 480 extra resources that have been put in place to house orderly trains to be ready to fight fires. Now, what I'm going to say this week is our UNICEF is using later today 100 of them should arrive as well. There are 100 firefighters coming from France. Also, there will be some coming from the United States. There is rain in the forecast for the North Shore region in the next couple of days, so that should help with fires. But in the BCE Western Quebec region, there is no rain for several days, and this will make things harder. And people are just hoping that they can get back to their homes soon. To be on zero, CBC News, Montreal.
Forest fires damaged more than 3 homes and buildings. The smoke is part of the pollution killer. So one part of Quebec, there are 33 buildings where respirators are outside. Those fires are the health.
The sky in Montreal was gloomy, all thanks to smoke from more than 150 forest fires still raging elsewhere in Quebec, including Val d'Or, 500 kilometers northwest, where evacuations began over the weekend, and fumes are inescapable.
It's all over the place. You go outside, you smell it. It's even like just opening a window for a few seconds.
Across the country, multiple regions are now facing air quality statements, some far beyond the wildfire zones. In Toronto, a haze hung over the downtown core.
We know that wildfire smoke causes widespread inflammation.
This physician says it's all made up of pollutants, which can become more harmful to human health the more you're exposed.
So people who work outside, people who are experiencing homelessness and spending a lot of time outdoors, the risks to those folks will be higher.
Inviting Canada says people with heart or lung disease, asthma, pregnant individuals, and both children and seniors are also at high risk, even from small amounts of smoke. They can go all the way down into our lungs and not only cause topical irritation through all of our respiratory linings, but actually cross over into our bloodstream. A research team studied a bad wildfire season in Canada's north and found a rise in hospital visits linked to asthma, pneumonia, and COPD.
You may want to shelter your face because you don't want to get out there and be breathing in more terrible air.
And doctors say if you have to go outside in the smog, consider wearing something you might still have at home, a well-fitting N95 mask. Lauren Kelly, CBC News, Toronto.
Jacob Powell joins us now once again for a look at the weather, and like you're saying, the skies out there, not as hot as it was last week.
You're all right, Omar. Hazy skies, what we've traded in for the humidity when it comes to this week to start off. And not hazy skies because of all those wildfires in the nearby surrounding regions. Now, we can report when it comes to the rest of the week. The inconsistent being outside of the foggy sky. But the type of precipitation we'll be receiving will be around this afternoon, right around the show started. This one's going to look like around 10 o'clock before the lake show. Scattered showers all across the region. Maybe some areas down south around Manchester get a little bit of rain. Maybe some areas down over by Perth might get a little bit of rain. Maybe Orleans might not get any rain. But it's a scattered variety we're going to be expecting around Ottawa and the surrounding regions. Now, one thing we can also look forward to is going to be a mix of clear skies and a mix of cloudy weather as well. But the one big thing we should always note is that there will be chances that we will get rain in different regions at different times. Now, taking a look at what rain is going to be receiving over the next couple of hours, we'll not that much rain between now and 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. One thing we look forward to is the Thursday and Sunday forecast is the seasonal temperatures we'll be receiving and the overnights are going to cool those compared to those weeks last week that we had. I'm looking at what the weekend might look like. Precipitation, as mentioned, is a common theme. Expecting a bit of rain on Friday, sunny cloud on Saturday, but then right back to regular scheduled rain for Sunday and Monday. And you can walk in photos to this clip by Ross Brown of the Lido River. That's what we sent to us. Here's a beautiful photo sent to us by Ida of Spectacle Lake. Now, if you have any photos you'd like to send, please send it to me via email at victor.powell@cbc.ca. And we're hoping everyone in those wildfire regions remains safe. And all